WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. The back of the box boasts realistic wrestling, and digitized graphics means this is the real Yokozuna. Released on just about every platform in 1995 and 1996, WrestleMania the arcade game was pretty much just trying to cash in on the success of games like Mortal Kombat. It's way more of a fighting game than a wrestling game. The PlayStation and Saturn ports are a lot more polished than the SNES and Genesis versions. We're going to take a look at it today on the Sega Saturn. Okay, so first off, let's take a look at the WWF roster in 1995. Guys like Diesel, Ahmed Johnson, British Bulldog, Atom Bomb, 123 Kid, Psycho Sid, Owen Hart, they all have two things in common here. They were considered big stars at the time, and they're nowhere to be found in this game. Now that's not a huge surprise. During this time in gaming, it wasn't common to have an entire WWF roster in one game, but just 8 people? I mean, that kinda sucks. But give them credit where credit's due, it wasn't as simple as just animating a sprite and throwing it in the game. Since the game consists of digitized graphics, they had to actually take photos of all these wrestlers in all different kinds of positions, which I can almost guarantee is quite time-consuming. The 8 wrestlers included are at least relevant for the time. You got Doink, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Lex Luger, Bam Bam, Yokozuna, and Razor Ramon. Everybody looks spot on, from attire to characteristics, but they better be, and remember, this is the real Yokozuna. The wrestlers all bleed out random crap like Razor Ramon spilling out stuff like gold chains everywhere when he's hit. This is actually part of the charm of the game. I remember playing this at 10 years old, and back then this was actually pretty cool. Me and my friends really got a kick out of it. Now when I think of the gameplay here, I think of serious hand cramping. There are moves here in the game for each wrestler which can be found in the instruction booklet, along with some weird hints and comments from Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler. Oh, and check out the Fink. Looking good, buddy. The moves are pretty simple, and most everybody shares at least one button combination, which makes it a little easier to remember. But depending on the difficulty level you select, you might just end up in a button mashing contest. Instead of your typical 3-count fall bout like you would see in, I don't know, a wrestling match, you'll compete in best 2 out of 3 rounds, defeating your opponent when his life meter is completely drained. You can run around the ring, punch, kick, throw random bizarre objects, and even jump from the turnbuckle. All in all, it's actually a fun experience once you get the hang of it. There's 2 paths to choose from. You can battle it out on your way to the Intercontinental title, or go all out for the world title. Either way, you're going to take on some handicap matches, like 1-on-2 and even 1-on-3. The last match of the world title run consists of a battle royal with all the game's wrestlers. It's totally beatable given you have the right wrestler. There is a small loading time in between wrestlers which can break up the action a bit, but it really doesn't bother me. So you complete the IC belt run and you're greeted with this. Okay, that's a little bit of a disappointment, but you know, let's go ahead and run through the world title run. Okay, same thing. At least I get a lot of pyro. The SNES and Genesis were limited, but you'd figure they could have some kind of upgrade for the CD-ROM based games, you know, like maybe some footage of wrestlers winning belts, or at least a quick clip of your wrestler maybe doing his finisher or something. But nope, you had to wait for In Your House for anything like that. There's only one stage you get to perform in. It's just a generic mid-90s WWF ring, red, white, and blue robes, metal guardrails, blue WrestleMania apron. You get the idea. The crowd is pretty lackluster. I mean, you'll get some movement here and there. Oh, but that's only in a singles match. In those handicap matches, the crowd is absolutely dead frozen in place. No movement whatsoever. Guess there's just too much going on at once. If you take the action outside of the ring and move all the way to the right, you'll find Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler sitting at the announce table. The two handle the commentary very well, and there's actually a lot of sound here. It's even better than wrestling games that came after, including WWF Attitude and WCW Thunder. Right, Mr. McMahon?
Boom shakalaka!
The Saturn and PlayStation versions don't contain any in-ring music for some reason. I'm not sure why this is, but a goofy game like this deserves some kind of tune. At least the sound effects are plentiful and over the top. They really go with the feel of the game and provide some musical entertainment if you do get bored with the gameplay.
Shawn Michaels!
You'll hear entrance themes here and there, in between matches and at the wrestler select screen after a continue, but that's about it. This game definitely has a certain charm to it, and not just because it was a huge part of my childhood. I think it's cool that they switched it up a bit and did what they did with the game. It was a nice twist on a wrestling game, and it's cool to see some of my favorite childhood WWF wrestlers uppercutting each other 40 feet into the air. Now, if you want a 16-bit grappler that's a little more grounded, you might be happier with a game like WWF Raw or Royal Rumble. But for those of us who want some pre-Attitude Era attitude, WWF WrestleMania the arcade game really satisfies. And it has the real Yokozuna in it.